Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm not sure if this is even recording properly or is going to appear properly, but I'm giving it a go. I think I have found a workaround for the problem I was having here on my page with going live and being in landscape mode. This is a last-ditch effort, so it's either going to work or it's not going to work. I have no idea. But I have to clean this craft room. It's a disgusting mess. I made such a horrible mess getting ready for Facebook Live on Friday, only to not be able to go live. And then yesterday I got so frustrated with trying to fix it that I ended up making cards all day and made an even bigger mess while I was live streaming, watching my friends run agility at Westminster. So that was super cool. I got to play with stamps and watch agility. So that was really cool. All right, so I see people popping on. Yay. Hi, Penny. Thank you. You can see me and hear me. Am I landscape or are you having to tilt your head? Hopefully you're not getting neck strain because Friday was really frustrating. So welcome to my Facebook Live. Hopefully we can get through this without a lot of glitches. So my plan for Friday was to create 3 cards based upon a sketch that I published on Friday afternoon. So hopefully you got a chance to see the sketch and download it. Maybe a few of you even got to play with it this weekend. I don't know. But while I'm waiting for some folks to find me here because I didn't announce this, I was afraid to announce it like I did on Friday. Hi, Patricia. And then have to tell everybody it was a no-go. So I'm just kind of sneaking on here. Hi, Adrienne. Yay, people are finding me. Hi, Penny. Thanks. So a few other things that we have going on. I have extended my you can see on the list here, my Peaceful Poppies free tutorial. I did extend it for an additional week so my club members could have an opportunity to get their orders in and earn an additional free tutorial. And because of the Facebook Friday having that total, meltdown. So you still have an opportunity to earn my Painted Poppies or Peaceful Poppies card tutorial. It's four card tutorials with step-by-step instructions and all of the measurements prepared for you. It'll arrive by PDF. That's free with a $50 order in my online store. No Hostess code or anything required. You just have to place an order and that Peaceful Poppies card tutorial will be on its way to you. I'm also prepping round 2 of my paper shares, and I have 2 left. So if you're interested in a paper share for the mini catalog and celebration papers, there's 2 left. So the first 2 to send me an email or contact me on my website and say they're interested in receiving a paper share, you will be the first to have the opportunity to purchase it. And then I'll be taking pre-orders for the next round. Okay, so that's 9 shares of Designer Series paper. So you get 1/4 of 9 different packs of paper. The cost is $39.95, but that includes $8 priority mail paid direct to the post office. That includes the tracking and the insurance, so that covers both of us. So it's $31.95 for the paper and then just $8 that I pay the post office to get it to you. So if you're interested in a paper share, I have 2 left. And then I'll be just taking pre-orders for the next round. Okay, February Hostess Club enrollment is still open. You'll find all the details for Hostess Club here on my Facebook page, on my blog, on my website. I've got it everywhere. $35 order using this Hostess code gets you in for February. So that would be, it's a 6-month club. So you'd have February, March, April, May, June, July. And in July, you would be the hostess for club, and you're guaranteed $25 in free product. and you can earn even more free product by collecting some outside orders from your friends during your Hostess month. But even if you don't collect any outside orders, you're guaranteed $25 minimum in free product during your host month. So that's a great way for you to start collecting some of these great items from our mini catalogs, or some of your wish list items from the annual catalog. Collect some free celebration items along the way, and then reap the rewards come July, when we'll have a brand new annual catalog for you to pick free stuff from. So that's that. Also tomorrow, I put it up on my Facebook page here and on my blog earlier today. Tomorrow is the last day to subscribe or purchase a 1-month trial subscription for Paper Pumpkin. So the Paper Pumpkin February pre-order ends tomorrow. You'll find all that information, like I said, here on my page, or on my blog, or on my website. Or if you want additional info, just PM me or send me a email. Let's see. Celebration's going strong. You probably know all about that by now. Free items from this little mini catalog with all orders that total $50 or levels of $100. And I'm sure you've seen these brochures by now, but if you haven't, the little asterisks and bullseyes that you'll find on my online store and in this little mini catalog that are the little purpley color with free with 50, those are your $50 level items. And if you see the red bullseye and it says free with $100 purchase, if you're any purchases that reach, once they reach $100 even, you can select one of those items for free, or 2 $50 levels. Sometimes people think that, okay, well, my order was $100, so I have to pick one of these or a $50 item. Nope, you can get a $100 item or 2 of the 50s. I love Celebration, my favorite time of the year. It's also a great time to join my Stampin' family if you're interested in getting a discount on all of your future purchases. When you join my Stampin' family during Celebration, not only can you choose your $99 in product, your $125 in product and have it, and only pay $99 plus tax and have it shipped for free, you're also going to receive the free exclusive mini trimmer, the DSP assorted pack, which is kind of like a mini paper share, and you can pick a bonus stamp set of your choice at any retail. So you can find a $49 stamp set in the catalog and get that for free in your starter kit. It'll all ship for free. It'll only cost you $99 and your local tax, and you never have to order anything else again. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to teach classes. You don't have to do anything. You can take your $125 and all that free stuff and pay your $99 and then never do anything again. Go back to just being a customer. Let's see. So we're going to actually use the little mini trimmer, I think, in this class. It's been so long now since I set it up that I don't remember. But I've been using this a lot for taking little bits off of cards. If I happen to trim something and it's off just askew, it's great for taking little bits off. It's great for the 6x6 papers that come with the demonstrator kit nowadays. And it's great for those paper shares because you can put your 6x6 paper in here. It fits perfectly and chop away, and you can take it on the go. It's great for taking in the car to kids' events while you have to sit in the bleachers and wait, or in your car and wait. I take it in my camper. It's a great little size. What else? There's so much happening right now. There's also the new coordination product release. So with the mini catalog and the Celebration items, there's a lot of stamp sets that you probably noticed did not have coordinating dies or punches. Well, they released some with a coordination product release. So there are now Nature's Thoughts dies that coordinate with the stamp set from Celebration, Special Days dies that coordinate with the cute little critters from the mini catalog. We have the Sending Flowers dies, and the birthday cake dies that coordinate with that really pretty birthday cake from Celebration. There's also the Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper packs that actually we're going to be using today during today's class. I love it more than I thought I would, and now I have to buy a bunch more of it before it goes away. These are all limited released items, so if you like these dies or the Designer Series paper, I would run out and buy them now because we don't know how much there is and we don't know how much it's going to last. And I'm pretty sure that that Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper is going to sell out very quickly because it's really, really nice. And I'm usually not a soft and subtle person, but this mini catalog is really changing my mind. I'm really surprised. So anyways, that is the coordination product release. Again, if you want more information, feel free to give me a shout and I'll fill you in. I'm sure you've seen the Ladybugs, the little Ladybug stamp set that is exclusive to $300 orders or $300 workshops. You get it free when you reach that $300 level, either with a party, in-home workshop, catalog workshop, or placing your own $300 order. And now there are dies. So we can cut out our little ladybugs and we can even make them fly with this neat little stitch die. So that's wicked cute. I actually played with that yesterday. And this is the stamp set. This is the little ladybug stamp set. It's so cute. You can color them with blends. You can color them with watercolor. Either watercolor with your ink pads or watercolor with the watercolor pencils. You can use your Stampin' Blends, markers, all sorts of mediums to color them. This is the dies. Hopefully you can see it without too much glare. And I have my tripod set up a little different. So if I go off camera with anything, let me know. Give me a shout. So you get little grass that you can cut out. You have your little ladybugs, all 4 of those images you can cut out. There's some little leaves, some little flowers, and then this little stitch die that makes your ladybugs fly and do loop-de-loos. So that I thought was super cute. And then this is the card that I ended up making. So I used, this is that new paper from the mini catalog that I can't reach. It's just out of reach. It's the one with the Valentines. Where the heck is my catalog? It's the one from the catalog, the From My Heart Designer Series paper. So I used that on the front of my card and then stamped my flower, colored it in with blends, popped on some grass. These little ladybugs are from a retired set, so please forgive me, but I needed a friendship card. And then on the inside, I did the little ladybug that comes in the set and colored her all in with blends, put on a nice message for my friend on the inside, and it's ready to go. It looks simple, but this little card gave me some real fits. I couldn't get the ribbon to work right. I realized that when I cut my paper, I cut so that the dots are a little askew, so I was thinking it wasn't centered, but it is centered. It's just that the dots weren't centered. So that drove me nuts. I don't know, but I was glad when this card was over. It came out really pretty, but man, was I sick of this stupid card by the time I was done. Hi, Kathy. The grass, oh, let me get it. Hold on. The grass actually comes from the Wiggly Bugs dies that goes with the stamp set that I think it's called Wiggle Worm, that has the little worm and all the little bugs. So you get the grass in the dies that go with that set and with the big leaf. So I actually want to do a card that puts the ladybug on this big leaf. And I just found out today that the Wiggle Worm, I want to say it's Wiggle Worm stamp set, and these Wiggly Bugs dies, the bundle is actually on low inventory. So if you're interested in getting this bundle, you should grab that quick before it goes on back order or not orderable while they wait for more inventory. All right, so there was that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just going on and on and on. Blah, blah. Okay. I have a pile. I'm working top down on my pile. Okay, the last thing I have to share is my new Busy Bees bundles class. I introduced this last week, but I didn't really speak too much on it. What I have done is I have developed 4 cards using the Honeybee bundle. I designed a one-sheet wonder cutting template for the 6x6 designer series papers. This all came about from my paper share, actually, because people were saying, okay, well, a 6x6 paper share is great, but how do I cut up a 6x6 piece of paper to max out the potential? So I designed a 6x6 designer series paper cutting template. So a one-sheet wonder for a 6x6. It produced 4 cards from one piece of 6x6 paper. Then I took it and I turned those cards into 4 card sketches. So I built a bundle based upon all of that. So what I'm doing is I'm offering for $56 and $8 priority mail the Honeybee bundle. So I'll order that for you and pay the shipping and tax on that. You'll get the one-sheet wonder template for cutting the 6x6 designer series paper. You'll get the PDF tutorial for the 4 cards plus a PDF with the 4 card sketches and all of the supplies to make the 4 cards. So the piece of 6x6 designer series paper, the card stock, everything. The only thing I can't do for you is stamp, which is why the Honeybee bundle is included in the class, because I can't pre-stamp images for you. It's against Stampin' Up! Policy. If you don't need the Honeybee bundle because you already own it, but you're interested in the one-sheet wonder template, the 4 card sketches, and the 4 card tutorials, if you place a $50 order with me using this code right here, this RTQ 4PFVT, I will send you all of those PDFs for free. Okay? And if you only want the PDFs, but you don't want to make a purchase, maybe you already have a demonstrator, maybe you are a demonstrator, if you're interested in those PDFs, so that's the PDF for the one-sheet wonder, the PDF for the 4 card sketches, and the PDF for the 4 card tutorials for making these cards, you can send me an email. That goes out for $15. It's available to demonstrators, customers alike. $15, and it'll get you all of those 3 PDF tutorials for you to use at home. So these are the cards. I have all these cards that have used the Honeybee bundle. So you can use the sketches and you can use the card tutorials using other papers and other stamps. You just have to change them out. So we have this one, we have that one, we have that one, and we have that one. So those will be the 4 cards that you would get all of the supplies for if you purchased the Honeybee bundle card class. And those are the PDFs that you would get for the free with 50 or purchasing the tutorial. So that's all the cutting instructions and step-by-step on how to make the cards. Okay, well, we have not been kicked off. We still have people joining. I'm seeing comments. So we may be good to have a class. I was afraid to start getting too much into creating projects because I was so afraid that something would go wrong and it would all be for nothing and I'd be left standing here by myself with half-made projects all over my table. So let's start stamping now that we covered all of that. Yay! All right, so today we're working with this sketch. I put it up on my Facebook page, like I said, on Friday when I thought we were going to have a class and it didn't happen. So you can grab this here on my Facebook page and save it to your files or print it off. And this all came about because I found a card doing an internet search for ideas, and I really liked it, and I had all the materials to make it, but it used retired DSP, and I thought, I wonder if I can make this card happen using current product. So I wanted to use the From My Heart Designer Series paper and the new punches, and I stumbled across this card. So this card actually uses, if you have it in your stash, the All My Love Designer Series paper. And if you have it in your stash, this is what it looked like. All right. So it had Crumb Cake, and I think these are Flirty Flamingo, maybe Blushing Bride, things like that. And I hadn't even used this pack. I mean, I had used nothing. I still almost have a full pack here. So I'm looking at this person's card online, and unfortunately, I have no idea who it was or where I even found it. I wish I could give credit. And I saw these hearts, and I thought, how the heck what stamp set did that come from? And it wasn't listed. There was no stamp set listed, so I'm trying to figure it out. And then it finally occurred to me, flipping through the paper, that it had come from the Designer Series paper and been cut out. But because I had never used this paper, I didn't even realize it had those hearts. I had no idea. I had never even touched that sheet of paper. Never knew it was there. So I never even got to use it. And it coordinates with the Be Mine stitched framelits that are still in our current catalog. They're in the annual catalog. If you don't have it, you really should get it, because there's a lot of good stuff in here, even stuff that carries on beyond your typical, hearts for Valentine's Day and things of that nature. And the coordinating stamp set, which is meant to be. And that's in the current catalog too. So I thought, oh, well, I can actually do that, because what she did is she used the dies from the Be Mine stitched framelits to cut out the hearts. So this heart here cut out that image, and then this little stitched heart cut out this image. And I didn't even know we had that. This was what, a year ago, 2 years ago, I think it was. I can't remember now. And I never even knew we had it. Duh. Some demonstrator I am. I had no clue. So what I did is I thought, well, this is a perfect card for me to recreate using what's current, which is the From My Heart Specialty Designer Series paper, which I'm sure you're all familiar with by now. And I gotta get them back. I gotta get them over here. I've already made a mess. I've been live 15 minutes. And the heart duo punches that are in the mini catalog. So we're gonna use those. And we're gonna recreate this card, but we're going to update it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to use the Just For You stamp out of the Meant to Be, but I'm going to combine it now with the new punches and the new Designer Series paper. So what you're going to need to follow this sketch, and I have to get my little basket. I'm going to bring in my little basket. So we're going to use Real Red ink. We're going to use Flirty Flamingo for our card base, and that's just your standard 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. Then we're going to use some elements from the Designer Series paper, and we're going to coordinate with some of our current dies. So what I've done to kind of speed up the process a little bit is I'm using just like in the original, let me bring that one back in. Just like in the original card, I'm going to use the second largest, I can't get it out, the second largest stitched rectangle to cut out my Designer Series paper. And then I'm going to use my second largest, oh, they're barking at something. I'm going to use my second largest scalloped stitched rectangle to cut the Whisper White piece. And if you're not familiar with this bundle of dies, this is called the Stitched So Sweetly dies. These are in the mini catalog. They are bundled. Where'd my little catalog go? Here it is. They are bundled with the Heartfelt, what is it? It's on this next page. The Heartfelt stamp set, which is bundled with the no, I'm in the wrong place. That's the Heartfelt stamp set is bundled with the Heartfelt punch. Ah, good grief. Dogs start barking and I can't focus anymore. Okay, so the Stitch So Sweetly dies coordinate with the So Sentimental stamp set. Oh, and there's Bo. Bo has to join Raven in singing. I'm guessing my neighbors are out in the driveway and Raven's decided we're under attack. All right. Sorry, we're just going to have to work through their barking. All right, so that's the dies that we're going to be using. If you have dogs, I apologize if your dogs are now singing. All right, so I've taken this pattern from the Designer Series paper. Now it actually sounds like someone's going to come knocking on the door selling something. And I've die cut it. I've die cut it with the second largest stitched rectangle. So we're going to put that on the front of the card. I have pre-die cut my Whisper White piece. I have some scrap real red cardstock. And I have this strip from the Designer Series paper pack. So all I'm going to do is take the coordinating heart punch, and just like the bundle of yesterday, or yesteryear, I guess, you can punch this out. I just cut it a little tight to my right-hand edge, I think, when I cut it out of the Designer Series paper. But that's all right. It'll work. No one's going to know. And then I'm going to take my Scalloped Heart punch. Boy, she's really having a fit. And cut out a real red Scalloped Heart. If the barking starts to really bother you, tell me and I'll stop recording and go yell at them. And then come back. All right, so for my stamping, I'm going to be using the Just For You. And I already have it here on my Stamparatus. And what I did is I used the grid paper that you can buy for the Stamparatus, and I pre-stamped it so I'll know where it's going to be. Then I figured out where I wanted to put the greeting on my paper, and I marked the corner right here on the grid paper. So I know I just want to slide this in, put it here in the corner, and then put my magnet. I can ink up my greeting. And I really have to apologize for Miss Mouth. I have no idea why she's freaking out. So if you need me to go yell at her, I will go yell at her. All right, so I'm going to take my Just For You, because she's driving me nuts. And now it's stamped perfectly. And I'm going to step away for 1 second because I can't listen to that. Okay, forgive me. Sorry, I just can't listen to that. It'll drive me nuts. Okay, so my Just For You is now stamped perfectly where I want it. And they're not barking. Okay, so I've got my Just For You. And then I pre-die cut using that same little stitched heart that comes from the Be Mine Stitch Framelits. This little guy right here. I pre-die cut him with that polka dot paper. All right, and that comes from the exact same Designer Series paper pack. So you know it's gonna coordinate perfectly. So I pre-die cut him, and now we just have to put them all together. And I'm going to start coughing. I need a drink. All right, so what I'm gonna do is because this Designer Series paper is on the thinner side and there's gonna be a lot of weight on it, I'm just going to flat glue it to the front of my card. You could pop it up if you wanted to. I just don't want it to wiggle and collapse under the weight. Ooh, I got glue on the front. Let's get that off. All right. So we're gonna put that down flat on the front of the card. Then we have our Just For You. That's gonna go on with dimensionals. Okay. So hopefully you guys are having a good Sunday. It's a gorgeous day here in South Carolina. It's just cold. I mean, not cold, cold. My husband was telling me it's in the teens in Massachusetts, and I said, I guess I won't complain that it was 34 when I got up this morning. He's like, you better not. All right, and I'm just gonna flat glue this heart onto the coordinating scalloped heart. And then I'm gonna pop that up on the front of the card. Like so. If I can get the backing off. Okay, so this one is gonna go on the card kind of off. I want it overlapping onto the Flirty Flamingo just a little and coming off the corner of the stitched rectangle. And then I put my dimensionals down right in front of me. I'm going to add this one, and I want him kind of hovering over this away. So I'm actually going to, I think I'm going to do a half a dimensional instead. I don't think I need a whole one. So I'm just going to take a half a dimensional. And what I found easier to do on this was to put the dimensional right on the front of the card. Like so. And then I could hover my heart and figure out where I wanted him. I think I'll put him there. And then I can just lift the corner here and put down a little bit of glue and then glue him in place there. And then that'll hold him. All right, so that's the first card that I came up with. So as you can see, it's pretty similar to this card. It just uses product that's currently available as opposed to retired products. But if you have this paper in your collection, give it a go and see what you think of it. And you can create that card. Excuse me. I also created using the same sketch and the same Designer Series paper. I created this one, which this Designer Series paper here is on the reverse side of this one. And I just used the same Scalloped Heart punch, but a different Designer Series paper in the middle. And then instead of doing a die cut from the Designer Series paper, I did a die cut from the Real Red cardstock. And then this one, I did the Designer Series paper again in the stitched rectangle, and the same with the die cut Real Red cardstock heart. But for this larger heart, I actually used a stamped image from the Meant to Be stamp set in the Real Red, die cut with the coordinating heart, and then I used the die cut stitched heart, stitched scalloped heart from here in Real Red to make the background layer. So if you don't have the current punches and current stamp set, you can go back to your Be Mine stitched framelits and the Meant to Be and use those and still make the same basic cards. And then this one again used the Designer Series, the current Designer Series paper, the same Designer Series paper stitched rectangle, and then that's die cut little Designer Series paper. So there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can create the exact same card just by altering the Designer Series paper or using a stamped image. So I hope you like that. Don't leave because I still have 3 more projects. 2 more projects to share with you. We had 3 projects to make today. So this is just one of them. And you've already got a ton of ideas. All right. So keeping on with the sketch. I might have to take a sip of water in a minute. Moving on, our next card, we are actually going to play with that new coordination paper that I was telling you about earlier. I'm just going to get it out of the pack to make it easier, and then we won't have the glare from the plastic. So this paper is in the coordination release, and it's called the Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. So this is available in my online store. It's $11.50, and it coordinates with, like I said, product from Celebration and the mini catalog. So this paper here, this pattern coordinates with the punch that you can get free with a $100 order. And that's from Celebration. Then on the back, there's a nice neutral kind of rainbow type stripe. We have the tulips, and that coordinates with the tulip punch that's in the mini catalog. And on the back is a nice neutral spring green. Then on this paper, we have a really pretty, I don't know, check pattern. Nice and subtle. Again, nice spring patterns. I think we're all ready for spring by now, even though we don't have snow where I am, it's still winter. On this side, we have these beautiful hearts. We're actually going to use this paper in my next card. And again, because it's coordination paper, it's going to coordinate with the heart punch pack that's in the mini catalog. So this is beautiful. You can either use the hearts cut out with the punches, or you can fussy cut them, or you can just cut a card front. Excuse me. There's all sorts of different ways to use this paper. I gotta move some of this out of the way. Then we have this umbrella pattern, which is absolutely beautiful. I love these little umbrellas. And actually this paper is the reason that I purchased the umbrella bundle that's in the mini catalog. So that's under my umbrella, and it has the umbrella punch and the coordinating stamp set. This paper got me. I had to buy it just so I could punch out the umbrellas out of the paper. And then on the back is this really pretty raindrop paper. So there's that pattern. I want to say that there's 3 sheets of each of the different papers. So you'd get 3 of the umbrellas, 3 of the hearts, 3 of the flowers, and 3 of the tulips. 3 sheets of each of the coordinating papers. All right, so I need to bring in, for today's card, the paper I already started punching. So as I said, we're going to be playing with this heart paper, and we're going to be using the pool, I'm calling this the Pool Party. It's kind of between, it's like Pool Party, Bermuda Bay, and Coastal Cabana are all kind of pretty much coordinating colors to this. On the back of the pack, I think it says it's supposed to be Coastal Cabana. Let me see. Blah, 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 blah. Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Petal Pink, Pool Party, and Whisper White. So I'm actually using it as Pool Party today for my card. So we're going to take this punch and we're going to punch out our heart. Glenda, I love this paper too. I'm going to have to place another order. If my husband's listening, he's going to have a fit. This catalog has surprised me so much. I have spent more money buying more stuff that I never thought I was going to use or buy. And it's just really taken me by surprise. So we have our heart. And then I need a scrap. I need my Pool Party ink. I've got my Pool Party cardstock. And again, it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, the same as before. Got my Pool Party ink. I have a Pool Party scrap. And I need to punch one of my Scalloped Hearts from my scrap. I have already die cut my second largest stitched scalloped rectangle in my Whisper White, and I've already pre-die cut the second largest stitched rectangle from the rainbow patterned designer series paper. That's for the front of the card. So again, we're still following the same sketch, so we're going to have the same layout and the same design. We're just going to use different elements. So we're going to glue these together. Whoops, I dropped it on the floor. Doesn't help when you drop it on the floor. So I'm going to take my heart, same as I did on the first card. And I'm going to just glue it to my heart, my scalloped heart. Set that aside and let it dry for a second. I'm going to take my designer series paper, cover up my pretty flowers with glue. And I'm going to just flat glue that to the front of the card. Like so. Trying to make it even, but not get in the way of the monitor. You know, mine's a little skawunkus, but pretend it's even. I've got too much space at the top. But it's hard to do without sticking my belly in the screen. Okay, so I'm going to bring back in my Stamparatus. So what I love about this sketch and these cards is if you wanted to stamp a whole mass production of them all at one time, say you're watching TV, sitting on the couch watching TV, and you want to work on some cards, or you want to just make your own card kit to take to a kid's game, you can just pre-do all this work, such as setting up your Stamparatus, and just grab your designer series paper, your punches, pre-die cut the elements that you need, and start cranking out cards in no time. And you can stamp a whole bunch of them all in one get-go. So I want to make sure that I ink that all up right. It looks like I've got good ink on there, but because it's a Stamparatus, if I'm not happy with the result, I can stamp it again. All right, so I'm going to line this up again like I did the first time using my pre-stamped grid paper, using my little hash mark for lining up my piece of Whisper White. And I can stamp. And I think that looks pretty good, but it almost looks like it's a little washed out towards the bottom. So I can just ink it up a second time. And for some reason, I've got this weird ink pad where there's a line across the middle. I don't know why. It's always been that way. So that could be part of the reason why I get that effect. But I can stamp it again in the same spot. And look at that. It's perfect. There's no halos, no oopsies, no rainbow. Well, halos. There's no edges. And it's perfect. But I'm going to be using this again on the next card, so I may as well clean it now, right? Lest I forget. All right, so we'll just clean that off. And then we can put him out of the way. Excuse my reach. I'm going to close my ink pad so I don't have an oops. And now we can put our card together. I need one more thing though. I almost forgot. I need a flower. Where is my flower paper? Because I need a flower. I thought I had a piece of flower paper that I did already cut a piece of flower paper, but I don't know where it went. So we need a flower. So I want one of these pink flowers. So I'm just going to take my punch and I'm going to line it up and I'm going to punch out my pink flower. And I know it coordinates because it's a coordination release. And then I can start assembly. So I need my dimensionals again. And I need my glue. And I feel like I whacked did I whack this? I did, I whacked it. Okay. So now just like the first card, that's our, oh, we already glued that. Okay. So now we just need to put our card together. But can you see how quickly a whole bunch of these would go together? If you just pre-die cut all of these elements at one time, your designer series paper and your Whisper White pieces, just crank out a bunch of those at one time, and your card bases. Your Stamparatus is going to give you the perfect placement of your stamping every time. Punches are so easy to work with. And actually, I think if this one goes off, I'm not sure if I need a double. Yep, I probably need to double that one up so it doesn't rock. It probably doesn't matter if I have a double, but we may as well double it up. So I'm going to double up that one to make up for the fact that where do I want this? To make up for the fact that the Whisper White piece is doubled up. I think I want this. Where did I have this? Let's just put him there. We'll be here all day while I try to figure out where I want to put it. Then I'm going to take my little flower and I'm just going to gently curl his petals up. And then I need one more dimensional, and I think this time I want a mini. I think I should get a mini. I'm going to get a mini dimensional for this guy. I'd hate to do all this work and have dimensional showing. So I'm just going to put a mini on the back of the flower. And I'm going to put this down here. And then, just to make it a little extra pizzazzy, I'm going to use the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. These did carry over from what I remember. And I'm just going to add, what do I want to add? I think I'll add, do I want a pool party one or a green one? I think I'll do one of these. I'll do one of these. And I'm just going to put that little gem right in the middle. And that's that one. So what do you think of that one? Pretty, huh? So pretty. And you could use this for anything. Doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. All right. So that's the second card that I came up with using the same sketch. And then, where did I put the next one? Okay, so we have one more. If you're still tuned in, we have one more card. So this time, I'm going to be using the same pack of paper, but I'm going to be using the Under My Umbrella Designer Series paper. Under My Umbrella stamp to go with the Designer Series paper. Say that 10 times fast, Mary. You can't even say it once. All right, so this time I am using Balmy Blue. So I have my Balmy Blue ink pad. I have my Balmy Blue card base. So again, it's 8.5 by 5.5 scored at the 4 1/4. Then I have pre-cut an umbrella top from the Designer Series paper, and I've added it to a Post-it note to help me get it into the punch, because the way the Designer Series paper is, I cut it out from the middle here using my paper snips because the punch wouldn't get up that far. So that's why I've attached it to a Post-it note to help me get it into the punch. I've also pre-cut some of the Raindrop Designer Series paper, the raindrop pattern, and I've also cut my scalloped stitched rectangle. So again, largest stitched rectangle for the Designer Series paper, second largest stitched rectangle for the Designer Series paper, second largest scalloped stitched rectangle for the Whisper White. So second largest and second largest. Yes, got it. All right. Next, we need to give our umbrella a handle, so I just have a 1/4 inch strip of the Balmy Blue cardstock. Then I have a stitched rectangle in Whisper White, because on this card we're actually going to do the inside. And it's the exact same size to keep it easy as I used on the Designer Series paper. Just makes it simpler for me, simpler for you to remember. So we'll do our stamping. So I've got my rectangle. I've got my Stamparatus, and it's already set up to mass produce. I just have to give myself some room. I'm going to put it down again on that paper that I have pre-stamped and made my little hash mark. Lay that down. Move it up a little so you can see it better. It's weird on my phone, the way I have it in the stand, I can kind of see some of your comments scrolling, but I can't see, oh, and I can see a light bulb. That's annoying. Which light bulb is that? Is that this one? Do we need that light bulb? Can you tell me if you need the light bulb? Because that, I just realized the light bulb was in the camera. Or is it only reflecting off the Stamparatus, the light bulb? All right, I'll turn the bulb back on after I do this. All right, so we're gonna stamp our greeting in the Balmy Blue onto our Whisper White, and I think that's good. I don't think it needs a second application. So we can put this aside. Oops, I guess I should put the magnet back, right, before I lose it. We're gonna be done with that. All right, let's see. I guess we kind of need the light. I'll put the light back on. All right, so we have that. And then for the inside of the card, we need some of our stamps from the stamp set. So I'm going to be stamping the boots and the flowers and these cute little raindrops and the no matter the weather, we're friends forever. So this is going to be for the inside. So I already have those mounted on my blocks, so you don't have to wait for me to do that. All right, so with the Balmy Blue that I just put away, with the Balmy Blue, I'm going to stamp my boots. Actually, I want to take this off. So we're going to take our boots. Oh, I got ink on it. Oh my gosh, I got ink on it. Where did that even come from? All right, well, we're going to work around it because I'm not going to make you wait for me to cut another one. And I can't flip it over because then the stitching's the wrong way. I'm just going to figure out something else to do. All right, so we got Balmy Blue boots. And then, it's never a Facebook Live until you have an oops, right? So silly. All right, and then I need to take my raindrops and put them on my stamp. So I'm going to just take this off so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to pick up my raindrops, make sure they're going in the right direction, because we don't want the rain falling upwards. So we're going to take our raindrops, and then I'm just doing those full strength. Hopefully you can see. Just going to go full strength. Can't remember how I did it. Did I overlap? I think I overlapped a little. What did I? Oh, I made them line up. That's what I did. So it was up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so I have my raindrops. Can get rid of that. So now I've got my raindrops, and then I'll do my greeting before we put the Balmy Blue away. Okay. No matter the weather, we're friends forever. So we're gonna do that. I gotta make sure it's straight though. All right. I'm gonna get this out of here before I get more ink on my project. Okay, so that's the end of that. And then I'm going to take the flowers, the little cluster of flowers, and I'm stamping them up in gray. So I'm using smoky slate, but I don't want them super strong. I don't want them dark. So I'm gonna stamp off a little bit on scratch paper. Then I'm gonna line them up and stamp them in my boots. Okay. And then that's bugging me. So, let's see what we have. I think I have something I can put there. I just can't think of what I can't figure out which one it is from. Well, all right, I'm not seeing it right away, but I know we have, I think it's in the bugs. It's in one of our sets. There's a tiny little dragonfly. I think I'm gonna stamp the little dragonfly right there to cover that smudge. I just don't want you to sit here forever waiting for me to flip through all my stamp sets trying to find it. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cover it with a little teeny tiny dragonfly, and then no one's gonna know. All right, put that away, and I needed it. So now I'm gonna color the inside, and then we'll do the rest of the assembly, but I want this to dry before I put it on the inside of my card. So we're gonna use the Stampin' Blends, and we're gonna color our boots and our flowers. So this is light Balmy Blue, and I'm just gonna color And hopefully you can see. And hopefully I don't go outside of the lines too bad because I can't see it. I'm just going to color my boots. Like so. With the light balmy blue. Then I'm going to take the dark balmy blue. And I'm going to color in the top of the boot and the soles of the boots. So now we've got some pretty boots. The other thing you could do is stamp a flower on your boots. Then they'd look like those fancy boots. All right, then I'm going to take the color lifter, and that's not the end I want. I'm going to take the broad end of the color lifter and just take some of that off. Then I'm going to color my flowers. So this is light daffodil. And I'll do these in light daffodil. This is light pink pirouette, which I believe is retired, but I do not have all the blends. And you can color your flowers any color you want. I was just trying to bring in some of the kind of similar colors that are in what's going to be my umbrella on the front of the card. So whatever colors that you have, that's what you can color your flowers. And then I have light granny apple green. And that's going to be for my leaves. And I don't want them too dark because that gray outline is so light. And this is just a real quick add of the color because the way that I have to stand back for the camera, I can't see very well. And I don't want to, and then this is just a little gap down here because of how I stamped it. So I'm going to color that like a leaf. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I accidentally touched the green to the blue. I'm going to fix that in a second. So I'm just going to come back in and I'm going to add a little extra yellow layer of yellow to the flowers. And the center of this flower has a little dot. I'm just going to put some green there, and then the pink one, I'll put a little green in the middle of that one too. So where I accidentally hit the green down to my boot, I can just go over this with the light balmy blue. And this will just give this back boot a little extra emphasis for being behind the front boot, like shadow. But I can also come in with my color lifter and soften that up a bit. And you don't notice the effect right away, but you'll notice it when it starts to dry. All right, so that's the inside of the card. And then I'm going to just go find that little dragonfly to cover my oops. So let's finish the front. And then we will be done. Okay, so I need my umbrella punch. Again, from the mini catalog that's bundled with the Under My Umbrella stamp set. I've got my umbrella on my Post-it note. So I can just slide it right in here. And straighten it up, which is easier said than done. I need you guys to see what I'm doing, but I can't see what I'm doing. So what gets sacrificed? I sacrificed what I can see. Okay. So there's that. And then, oops, I put that away. I need that. And then we need a handle. So that's where my little 1/4-inch strip comes in. So I'll just feed that into the punch. And now I have my little handle. And then these little stray bits go in the trash, because we don't need those. So that's how to get a handle without getting all this extra stuff. Just get yourself a little 1/4-inch strip, or 1/2 inch. I'm sorry, it's a 1/2 inch strip. I'm telling you the wrong thing. It's a 1/2 inch strip. Get yourself a little 1/2 inch strip, and that'll help you perfectly cut a handle. All right, so now we can assemble. So we need to flat glue this. I did my drops upside down. Oh my Lord. I did my raindrop. Wait, no, raindrops are fat at the bottom. They're fat at the bottom, right? I stamped them upside down. All that effort. And they're upside down. Oh well. Don't tell anybody. All right, glue. Don't tell anybody. My drops are going upside down. What a dope. Oh well. What a dumbo. Too funny. Oh well, this has an oops. Maybe I should just throw it away. Or send it to someone who won't notice. What a hoot. I did it right on my sample. Okay. Fat drops down. Fat down on the drops. What a dope. Oh well. My drips are going upside down. Good grief. Okay. Do you think it matters? Just tell me. No, Mary, it doesn't matter. No one's going to notice. Make me feel better. No one's going to notice. All right. Where did I put my dimensionals? I got my minis. I don't want my minis. I want the big fat ones. Well, I got to the last card before making a big oops. Right? That's the worst thing that happens to me today is I stamp raindrops going the wrong direction. I'm doing pretty darn good. Too funny. All right. Make sure I got all the backings off. Thank you, Tina. If Tina says it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. All right, so here's the Just For You. And then we're going to put on our umbrella. Get the backings off. And we're going to put that on the front of the card. That's a little too far over. Oh, look, there's still a Post-it note on the back of that. Forgot to pull it off. All right, this needs to go there. So it's not covering the Just For You and it's not off the card. Then we have our teeny tiny little umbrella holder. Let's see. I'm going to do a little bit of glue on him. And we're just going to slide it up under. And I just realized on my sample, my umbrella handle's going the other way. But I guess that doesn't matter as much as raindrops. Raindrops, the direction of your raindrops is way more important. Oh well. Can't fix it now. I mean, I could just throw it away. Now I'm looking for adhesive. I'm going to put some adhesive on, and I never glue the whole entire thing in. I put just a little so it kind of flaps just in case the recipient wants to remove it from inside their card and put a new insert in and send it to somebody else. So there's the card. Hopefully you like it. I think it's cute. So there's that one. This is the sample that I was working off of. So on this one, the handle just goes the other direction. And in this one, the raindrops are falling the right way. So there's that. And then we had, where'd I go? Now where'd I put my cards? Then we had the one that uses the coordinating heart punch from the design, that same coordination designer series paper. And then we have the paper that is in the mini catalog. Oh my gosh, that coordinates with the bundle. And you'll find all that on page 9 of the catalog. So we started with the From My Heart Specialty Designer Series paper, and then we ended with the Coordination Designer Series paper. And then these were the other cards that we created using either stamped images, or that I had created using either stamped images or more of that punch DSP. And this is the card that started it all. That was a case, and it actually was the start of all of these cards and my sketch, which I now have misplaced. There it is. And then my sketch. So if you like these cards and your head is brimming with ideas like mine was of different ways that you can use the sketch, please grab it off of my page here and download it, and then come back and share what you made. I would absolutely love to see what you create with my sketch. I actually have a second series to this class. As you remember, Friday night was going to be a two-parter. So there is going to be a second series for this class. I'm just going to make sure that everything goes right with this one before I attempt another live. I don't want to repeat of Friday because that was just a disaster. So I have 3 more cards, and they follow this exact same sketch, but I stepped it up a notch. So they're a little bit more detailed, and they use completely different designer series paper, completely different bundles. They're just stepped up versions of this sketch. So I hope you enjoyed the class. Again, if you are interested in one of my 2 paper shares that I have left, be sure to email me or contact me somehow quickly. I'm going to be going to the post office tomorrow with the paper shares, and you could have them as soon as Wednesday because I'm going to do 2-day priority mail. So you can have those with 2 days, in 2 days. So on Wednesday, 2 days from tomorrow. And don't forget, I've still got the Peaceful Poppies 4-card tutorial, free with a $50 order, no host code required. And there's still opportunities to join my February club. And I also, don't forget, have that honeybee bundle with the PDF tutorials for the 6x6 card sketch, the 4 cards that you can create with the sketch that are sketches and step-by-step tutorials. So that's 3 PDFs. You can either get it with the B bundle, you can get it with just free with an order, or you can get it just by purchasing the PDFs alone, $15 for all 3 PDFs. If you want any more information on any of those, be sure to ask. So that's it. That's all I've got. So I think we've actually survived a whole Facebook Live where I only made 1 oops, and I'm not sideways. You didn't have to crank your neck to watch me. So thanks for stopping by on this beautiful Sunday. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and stay tuned for episode 2. That'll probably be tomorrow or Tuesday. My husband comes home on Tuesday, so it depends on his schedule. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Happy stamping. Bye.